Welcome to week 5 of our UIUX Figma track class. I'm really happy to have you all here. We're going to look at a couple of things. Let me bring up my slide so that we can just browse through it and return to Figma as always. So, real quick, let me do that. Let me bring up my slide. Okay. For some reason, because I'm on my PowerPoint mode right now, I can't really see our team screen. So if you can't hear me or anything, please use your mic to stop me so that I don't keep going on and on and on, assuming that you can hear me. So, all right. So today we'll delve into advanced techniques and explore valuable tips to elevate your Figma design skills. We'll cover advanced photography, layout method, creating custom animation, which we have touched on. I really want you people to look for videos and whatever you can. Animation is a whole other thing that you need to really understand. The animation, don't assume so much when you hear, and it's nothing that intimidating. We try to do like some subtle animations before. I just want you to look for videos specifically about animation so that you can, add some interaction to your design that would be fun for your users when they visit your site. So I really need you to invest so much time in that. It's going to help you. Believe me, I know we just did this like 6 times. You are well on your way. The way some of you are moving, I did not move like that at all. It took me time to get to where I am, and I am still learning. But the way some of you are moving in 1 month, you're going to take off fully. That's what I'm seeing right now. When you dedicate a whole month and some few minutes every day, you can dedicate an hour even into practicing everything we've been learning on Figma. And trust me, the sky will be your starting point. So, really impressed with the speed some of you are going at. I did not start like this. So, for those of you who feel, hey, God, they are leaving me behind, do not feel that way. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and there are some things that I'm only just starting to figure out, and I want you to go at your pace. Don't feel intimidated. Some of us are slow learners, some of us are fast learners. Go at your own pace. And the reason you need to do that is because if you go at your own pace, when you understand it, you truly understand it. It's going to become second nature to you. If you're a fast learner, wonderful. Go that way. At the end of the day, we'll all arrive at our destination. So don't be intimidated by anybody or by the fact that I am impressed with some. That doesn't mean I'm not impressed with you. It's just that I haven't seen your work yet. So I am just impressed with the ones I have seen. And by the time we keep going, we'll definitely get there. We're going to present final projects. There's I'm sure you're talking to some of the admin people who are probably putting you through 1 or 2 things. We're going to present final projects. So it will be nice if I can keep seeing your work continuously, seeing how you improve and all that. Okay. Additionally, we're going to explore responsive design techniques with Figma. Okay. After that, I'll dedicate some time for some questions and challenges you are currently encountering, so that we can face whatever it is that is holding you back. Okay, so quickly we'll look at advanced typography. We're going to look at exploring ligatures and kerning. They are just terminologies that I want you to be familiar with, so that when you speak like a professional. It will shock you what ligatures and kerning is. It's not what you're thinking. Believe me. Okay. So we will also look at open type features, and then we're going to look at mastering layouts using grid systems to create a structured and responsive design. Additionally, we're going to touch on component libraries, but I may have to leave that out at the beginning, because most of what we're going to be doing, it's all part of creating our component libraries. So, but with what we'll learn, hopefully at the beginning of next week, I'm going to also still touch on it again so that we can understand. Using component library, there are designers that have still not mastered it. People that have been doing it for a couple of years, they've still not mastered it, but you go at your pace as always. Finally, we'll do some animations and interactions if we still have time, because we're already way well into our time. So let's keep going. This is what a ligature looks like. Actually, let me just explain it. Kerning is, simply put, kerning is the space between your letters. I'm going to show you how to achieve that on Figma. Spacing between your letters. There's a feature where you can use to create that space on Figma. And then ligature is pretty much the opposite of that. For ligature, it just explains that between your characters, your letters, that is, they are usually connected somehow. Look at this writing here. And truth be told, you're probably never ever going to use it anytime soon. So, but I just wanted you to know the difference. It's a connection between letters. If you can see these letters, they are connected. It's just a stylish write-up that connects it. You can't connect a letter that is not this stylish. Imagine, except you're trying to build a certain style, which usually happens with logos. But in this one, we are actually referring to the typography. So when you see something disconnected somewhere, anywhere, you're having a conversation, you just know it's called ligatures. You're probably not going to use it. It's kerning that is most important for you at the beginning of this journey that we're going to touch on in Figma. Okay, so we're going to explore Figma plugins, where to find them, how to use them, what they are meant for. And I would like to implore us all to go and, learn about plugins for Figma so that you can work with it. Basically, the plugins are just third-party apps that help you, just work within your design. And we're going to see how we can use some of these plugins. I'm going to show you in Figma how we're going to install this plugin. We used icons the last time. I'm going to just show you how there are many more plugins that just helps enhance your work and just helps you move faster. In this world that we are in, especially when you start working remotely, your project manager is going to demand that certain goals, certain milestones in your design process be met in a certain time. So you have to move very fast, very fast. And the idea of some of these things is to just help you, just really move without wasting so much time on one project. Because when you start working remotely and your project manager comes today and you've not met your milestone, you make that mistake once, sometimes it's over for you. They'll pull you out of the team. And then other times, maybe if you meet like a lenient project manager or a project owner, they can decide to just give you grace, maybe one, twice, thrice, and that's it for you. You can't keep delaying an entire project because you cannot move with speed. So that's the importance of, just learning these things. We're going to see custom plugins, discover vast library of community created plugins. There are plugins that people just sit down and create to help us work efficiently. Okay, we're going to look at how to connect Figma with design handoff platforms, code generation to user tests. They are pretty interesting ones that I'm just going to introduce to you because you're just starting. You don't need to know all the plugins, just the ones that are important for the beginning of your journey. Others you explore by yourself because you really need to go and watch videos and know there are so many plugins that will help your life easy. So you need to dig deep on those kind of things as well. All right. Okay. Responsive design. I mentioned we're going to learn how to use constraints and auto layout. Auto layout, very important. It will help you when you're creating your components, and your components are part of the things that make up your library, because whatever you create is just going to be in that library, so that when it's time for you to reuse it, bam, you click on it and you are moving to the next thing instead of designing every element from scratch. Then yeah, okay, yeah, we're going to look at responsive design, which pretty much talks about different screens, designing for different screens. Now we're going to, oh well, if we have time, we're probably going to test our responsive designs on real, or better still, we're just going to use our Figma preview mode to see how to use these things. Moving on. Okay, then we're going to ask questions. Yes, I want it to be done with this slide so that we can delve right quickly into Figma, where the real action is happening. All right, so quickly, I'm going to change my screen and move to Figma. So very quickly, I'm going to do that so that we can continue in Figma. All right, let me do that. Let me stop sharing, and then I will share my windows now so that I can move from one window to the next. So I'm going to figma.com as always. Let's see how to explore some of this. Okay, all right. There's a Figma conference coming up, June 26 to 27. If you have this ad in your Figma, please, it would be nice to register. In these conferences, they announce new features and all that, and it will be great for you to be the first person to discover it, along with other amazing people that will be part of the conference. You watch it live, but you need to register to get access to the virtual event. So if you can see this banner in your Figma, please take advantage of it so that you can have the opportunity to join communities and meet amazing new people across the world. All right, so I'm just going to use this. I don't know what was here. I'm noticing that I just have so many untitled projects. I don't know how I did that. Okay, all right. Sorry, excuse me. Let me go back to let me see the guide. Okay. Oh, okay. Kerning in type fonts. I'm just going to touch a few things in typography. We touched on it on the surface, but now I'm going to show you other things you can do to create some components, or not really components, but you can also, your type can also be a component, but I'm going to show you how you can start trying to set up your library for your design. It's always good to have like a design system where you have set up all your colors, you set up all the fonts you want to use, your colors you want to use, your images, everything, so that you just know that, okay, when it's time for me to design, I'll just sit down and just start building until I get to the end. All right, so real quick, let's visit some of these things we have touched on before, but I'm just going to go a bit extra so that you can see how to use it. All right, so for our type now, where we talked about kerning, let me move this from my property so that I can see what's happening. I can just drop it here. Okay, good, so that I can see my space. All right, so text, let me just spell something. Kerning, so let me just say spacing between letters. Spacing between letters. There's so many things you can do with your type that we didn't explore. Okay, so spacing between letters. All right, so let's say you've written something. Let me increase so that we can be more visible. Sorry, what was that? All right. Okay, spacing between letters. Oh, okay. Let me do a frame. I don't know, but I think you can see this. So it's all right. So kerning now, when you click on your type, you're going to see the properties for that type under your text. Now, to get like an advanced feature for this text, this box here is what you click. And it's already telling us, oh, okay, let's browse our libraries, but our text library, but we haven't done that. But I'm going to show you how you can add this. You see this plus sign here is how you can add it to your library. So we don't have anything here for now. So these three dots here, actually, sorry, is what will show you the remaining things we can do to speed up our work process. So let me start with kerning so that I don't confuse you. Click back. Okay, so here, as always, we know we use this place to pick the font we want to work with. And I'm going to tell you one of the most popular fonts you can use for your website, especially. I like to use Montserrat because it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean. If you see it, it's pretty clean, and there are like 3 levels of Montserrat here, but I just like to take the regular one. This is if you're looking for like the perfect font for your website. This is one, and here we're going to explore our paragraph spacing. We don't have 2 paragraphs here, but we're going to touch on that real quick. So when it comes to kerning, line height, there's what we know as line height, but I'm going to show you what it is soon. Oh, I think I should type something. Okay, kerning is, why is it? Okay, sorry. And let me have more text. Sorry. Let me have more text to just demonstrate a couple of things. Spacing between letters in Figma. Let's say in Figma. In Figma, text styles track, or rather in let's see, in UI Figma. Let me just take it to the next line. Okay, press enter. In Figma track, I don't want to spend so much time typing. Figma track, right? So now I want to create another paragraph, so I could just say, what am I even going to say? My brain is not thinking on that. Anyway, this is week 5. Textiles. What 5? Cohort 5. Okay. I didn't really list out everything I'm going to do in this video, but let's just watch and learn whatever we can. We're just going to look at kerning, but I think we'll look at other things as well. All right, so this is what's known as line height now. The line height just explains the space between these lines. The space between these lines. Sometimes imagine this much space when you're trying to write something in your home page or anywhere, and then you just have this much space. What you can do to control this is to use what is known as your line height. Right now, our line height is on auto. It's on auto. So now we can, when you drag it, sorry, oh, okay, what's going on? Yes. Still on O2. Still on O2. Okay. You can reduce the space by changing the number. When you go down, let's put it on 10, you'll see what's going to happen. When you put it on 10, it's going to reduce space in between the lines. That's what line height is. When you increase the number, when you increase the number to say 50, it does this for you. Now, there may be instances where this could work, especially if you're trying to be stylish about what you're trying to do. You could use this in a very, very rare instance. You know what they say about rules? Before you break them, at least know it. When you know the rules, then you can now personalize it to how you want to work with it. But you have to know how to do it first. If not, it's like using an AI tool today. When you're using ChatGPT, for instance, you have to know the rules of prompting. You have to know what to tell it. Because if you give ChatGPT garbage, it will give you garbage. If you're unable to ask the right question, it will. So that's just how it is. Before you break any rule, you can go to some website, you'll see somebody writing like this, and it's going to make sense. It's going to make sense. But you that you're starting out, I advise against it. I want you to understand it first before you can break the rule. So now let me just say 8. 8 should really bring our space together to make our work look organized. Now, if you look at it, we don't have like a paragraph. Now with this next feature here, you can create a proper paragraph. So now when you, why am I touching this? I'm scrolling my work. Line art. Oh, okay. So paragraph spacing. So paragraph spacing, which kind of works like line height in a very weird way. Then our letter spacing, which is the kerning we've been talking about, and that you can do in percentage. Also, Figma also allows you to do mathematical calculation. Yes, that's something I said I was going to teach you. Let's say this 8 now. It is line height. This paragraph is okay. Yeah. Let's say this is 8 now, and we're in a hurry, we're doing our thing, we're trying to really hurry up. I can just say 8 times 2 times on in programming is using asterisks. I can just say 8 times 2. And when I click enter, watch what happens. It's changing it to 16. So sometimes you're in a hurry and you don't want to click here and start looking for a number. You don't want to start. You can also just use this arrow. Notice there's an arrow hovering here. You can use it to reduce, increase, But sometimes maybe you just know the exact number that you want. You can just double click and put the number you want. Maybe because you are used to it now, you have done it so many times, you just do that. But if not, maybe if I put 8 and I'm seeing, 8 is too small, I can just say times 2, it will give me all. I can just say 8 plus. You can do plus, you can do multiplication, you can do divide. Divide is literally your divide sign, and divide by 2 is going to give us 4. Just something I said I was just going to show you. Then our line, our kerning, which is the letter spacing, the next thing we mentioned is, okay, we have our spacing this way, right? By percentage, I can just say, okay, I want my spacing to be 50%. When I click, see what has our letters that are spaced out. And maybe I want it to close. I can just say 10%, and it's bringing it back. I can even still say minus 10%, - and it will close even more. Oh, sorry, what happened? Minus 10%. And it will bring, and this is such a cool way to write your letters depending on what you're trying to achieve. Depending on what you're trying to achieve. Sometimes you'll find a font, it looks nice, but when you bring it even this close, it gives you a certain effect on your design. But I always say, know the rules first. So I'm just going to leave it on, let me say 5. Or I can just leave it at 0. The original, I can leave it at 0, which is the original spacing that it has. So the nice thing about Montserrat is, and why people even like to use it, is because it's an almost perfect kind of type font that doesn't really need too much decoration. Okay, let me make an example now. Let me just click on this text tool again and create something. Just say, I just want to have some sort of effect, and I will just say, let me just say textiles Figma. Textiles Figma. All right, so I can just decide that, okay, this is together like this, Abby. So you can click into your text and apply characters, or effects to the same in let's say in 2 words that I've created. I can just hover on textiles, then I can decide, okay, I want to change the weights, and I'll say, okay, let textiles be bold, right? Then this one, I will leave it the way it is, just for some sort of effect. Then I'll come to this Figma. I just want to show you like a quick example of how fun this can be. You can do like a whole design here, a whole design. You can create logos on Figma as well. You just need to understand. You just need to understand how to play around with it. Oh, I don't know why. Okay, I'm just trying to select Figma now. All right, so I can just say, okay, let me apply spacing. Let me apply spacing to just, oh, sorry. Is on minus. Let me put 30 or 20. 30, for instance. I can just, oh, what's going on? Sorry. See, what am I doing wrong today? Oh, it's still on minus. I have to remove that completely. All right, so I'm going to do 50 again. Okay, I think it's seeing it as if I think it's seeing it as if they are 2 separate words. Or better still, oh, sorry, I know what's happening. This is a text box. This is a text box. This is a text box that it's telling it to go under instead. And that's something I'm supposed to even teach you about text box and all that. Different ways you can create. I don't know why I'm in a hurry today. I don't know why I'm in a hurry today. It just didn't have enough space. This is a text box. Sometimes when you write your content in a text box, it's just going to work with the size. So that's what happened. So you see, if I put it this way, it's telling it, okay, this thing we cannot contain all of us. So you can actually expand it like this. So now that I've done that, let me click on my guy again and apply 50. Now that it has enough space. Yeah, so you see, it's just the text box thing that happened. And you can choose, so that you don't confuse yourself, to not type in a text box for various reasons. So real quick, it's the way I applied it, and see what I did. When I picked my text tool, instead of me to just start typing, because when you pick your text tool, this plus icon is going to show you, okay, until you have option of drawing a text box, then you go ahead, you draw your text box and you start typing inside. Now, you have to be mindful that if you're typing inside a text box, these mistakes that happen now, I enjoy making mistakes in front of my students because it gives me opportunity to correct myself and they learn, because usually you encounter these things if you're new to Figma. So I enjoy making this kind of mistakes. I don't even want to be all correct most of the time. So it's good. So now you create your text box and you start typing. Bear in mind that whatever you're typing inside is going to go with the space that you have. However, let me show you a feature in Figma that you can use that is going to help you make a responsive text box. Now, let me type something else here. Well, let me just copy this. This is also in a text box. Let me just copy this, Ctrl C. Now come to my text box. I'll draw a text box, Ctrl C, or let me use this. Let me just copy this one here. Sorry, doesn't have to be a whole. Ctrl C. Let me just copy this. Now let me draw my text box again so that we don't get confused. I'm drawing my text box again. I'm going to place my content inside because my text box is not big enough. So this is happening to me because of that. Now, what we can do is to use what is known as auto layout in Figma. A very, very important feature. It was released not too long ago, and it's really helping to make a lot of people's lives easier. So instead of me trying to adjust the box, adjust everything, I can simply just use auto layout to make my life easy. So to use auto layouts, I'm going to use, sorry, what's that picture here? Okay, I can't find my auto layout button here. Let me see. Let me come here. My file, okay. Oh, I don't know, like, sorry, there's a short form for it. I want us to learn to use shortcuts. I want us to learn to use shortcuts so that we can, okay, let me say a button what I'm trying to do here. Okay, let's say I have this, doesn't have to be a button. Let's say I have this triangle and I want to write inside. It can come in handy for like a text or a button. So I have this button and I want to write inside. Now I can simply just type in what I want to do. What am I doing? Let me look at text back to, oh sorry, I put it in edit mode. Done. That's other thing. I'm going to give you videos for that. I want to type. Let me just, what am I saying? Let me delete this. It's interfering with my work. Okay, good. I want to type in, let me just say button. Sorry. So when you double click, when this happens, know you are in edit mode. Just come here and say done. You are going to be back in your normal mode. Okay, see, it's showing me that I should draw text box again. And I don't want to draw a text box this time around. So I'm just going to click. I'll just click it. I can just even, let me do it again. When you pick your text and you don't want to type in a text box, just give it one click and it will come back to a normal mode. It won't create a box, nothing. You will just type normally. So let me just say button. All right. Okay. See the way I did it here and where it just decided to land itself. Now there are a couple of things I can do to align this text how I want it instead of just simply picking my button and trying to use the red line. This is one way to do it. But there is a click you can just do that instead of trying to adjust, maybe because some of you are not used to the line guides. You can just decide, okay, you group the two together. And if you look up here, I don't think we've talked about what is here. These are used for alignments. So watch this. I've selected everything and I want it to come to the middle. I'm going to show you how you can do it. I want this to come to the middle. I can come here. Let me even show you all. When I click align left, my button will go to the left. When I click horizontal center, see, it's in the middle. It's in the middle, but there's still more space. There's still more space here to show us, okay, our button is not exactly in the center. So when we come here, when we do align horizontal, if you see it saying align horizontal center, it's in the center quite okay. It has aligned horizontally, but it hasn't aligned vertically. So when you come to this next one here and click, it has aligned perfectly now, because when you're working with your font inside a button, you want everything to be situated. You can use your hand, though, manual, but you see that one wastes more time. So you can also align. You can also align it to the right. You can also align it here. Of course, we don't need all that. So we'll just work with what we need. Align horizontal center. Oh, sorry. I selected only one. Look at your layer. You must select the button and the rectangle. Align to the center. Align to horizontal center and vertical center so that everything will come to the middle how you want it. All right. Now, another thing we can do now for auto layout, let me quickly show us, which is like the fastest. I've shown you the manual one. I've shown you this one. This one too is a bit of some extra task. But when you have this way and you click on auto layouts, you click on auto layouts, what usually happens is this. Because it's auto layout, if I come to my text now, remember when you click this arrow, you're going to see everything that you've been working with. So maybe I want to say, oh no, sorry, I wasn't supposed to do that. I wasn't supposed to do that, so okay. Let me click this. Let me show you what auto layout does. All right, so I've turned my auto layout mode. So now I want to I want to edit my button. So now maybe I want to write get started today. Notice in auto layout, it will turn your button to a responsive button, meaning that whatever you type inside, is going to flexibly, you've already set it, okay, everything is in the middle. And there's no need to go and be clicking middle, aligning horizontally each time you set it. So now I'm just going to say get started, and it's just going to follow the shape of, if I like, let me type my village story. This button is going to contain it without me having to adjust, to go back and adjust the rectangle, try to put it in the middle again, all over again. Because I have added my auto layout feature to it, it's just going to be responsive to my content within the box. It's just going to take the content as it is without you trying to readjust everything every time you set it. Now, still in this mode, I can decide that, okay, can decide, okay, again, here you can remove it. You can remove this thing, the auto layer feature, but there's no need to remove it. And so I can decide to just say, okay, when I do it like this, I'll just turn it to my component. Remember how we did it the last time? I can just turn it to a component, and it's part of my component assets now. So when you come here in your assets library, anything you turn to a component, is going to be recorded there, so that anytime you want to use it, now, remember this guy with the diamond frame is our main guy. Now, if I want to use this again, and I just click and I insert an instance now, I can insert this anywhere I want in my design. And like we said, if I want to change the color, as always, I can come. I want to change my background. You can use this little circle here to just move around if you want to. And maybe I just want to see, I'm changing the main components. Everything is changing. Everything is changing. But if I come here and I want to change color of my instance, let me move it. Let me move my, it does not affect the main guy in any way. Just to refresh your memory on components. Okay, so that's that for that. Anytime you want to see your main guys, you come here, you see them. Then quickly, let me just delete these guys. This is not supposed to go completely. You're not supposed to just say, oh, this one, I just need space for something. I just need space for something. So if I like, I can create all my components in one page. Then I can come here. Maybe this is where I want to do my main design. So you can have like a separate page for all your components that you're going to be building. Then I can say, okay, I want a different page for my designs. They are all still connected. So let's just do one quick web page. I want to also teach you about responsiveness and all that, so that when we want to use a button, I can still bring that one to my design, even though it's on a different page. So here I am going to just pick a frame. Let me do one quick header. I'm going to use desktop. I'm going to use MacBook Pro. So quickly, let me change the background color to I can use black. I like to explore like that. I can decide I'm going to use black as my background color. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me quickly create like a navigation bar. I'm going for my text again. I don't need a text box, so I'm going to click. So I'm going to say home. Okay, remember our duplication. We do not have to keep doing this over and over. As long as I don't need my home to be bold. I want it to be like maybe medium. Medium is fine. And I've already set my 24 is actually okay. And I set the size. I don't want to be doing this over and over. I'm just going to duplicate. Sorry, I don't know. I pressed something else, Ctrl Z. That is not what I want to do. That I put myself in dev mode, and I do not want that. So I'm just going to put that off. I'm going to put that off. So I'm coming back here, and I'll say Ctrl D. My layer is showing me I have two homes now. So all I have to do, I'm going to show us that alignment tool again here. All I have to do is just, move it. And then maybe let me call this maybe services. Then don't bother about the spacing at this point. I'm going to Ctrl D again and shift it. Maybe say pricing or something. pricing. There may be one final one, Control D again, because it was time to be picking text over and over again. All right, Control D again. So I'm going to just write contacts. Hello. I want to go and touch something else. So I'm going to write contacts. I think I need to calm down. I'm trying to really hurry so that I can cover so much, and instead I'm making mistakes. Mistakes that, well, not so bad for us, but also. All right, so let's say this one, I dropped it here. Let me just rearrange it. This guy is here and it's not looking too good. So all I'm going to do right now, as always, hover over all of them to group them. When I group them, I can just come and distribute it equally using our vertical align center to make sure everything is on the same level. Then here, remember, if you there's this guy here, this is our tidy up guy that is here. When you click on the arrow beside it, it can it will show you this other options to tidy up, distribute vertical spacing, distribute horizontal spacing. So when I click here, sorry, vertical spacing. Sorry. I was clicking the long one. So now it will just evenly spread my navigation bar for me. I can just group it again and just position it where I want it. Also, this happens also. When you hold if you notice there's an arrow here, the arrow can help you point upward or point downwards, and we don't have any reason to point it downward. So as soon as that happens, don't get scared. Just hold it back again and point it back up, and it will set it for you properly. So let me just write something here. Let me, I don't know, what is this our page for? Let me just do something here that will make us look like we have like a page. So I'm just going to still use text again. Now, before we do that, so that I don't miss this part, because I'm not even following down my PowerPoint like that again. I just want to cover so many things right now. All right, so we have these guys here, and we have these guys here. We can decide that, okay, we want to also turn it to auto layout. It's good to just turn most of your components to auto layout so that if I come again and I decide, okay, I want to just type something else. Let me say, oh, why is okay, I want to type something else. I want to add, or I want to even switch places. Maybe services here, and I want it to come back here. Sorry. Okay. I want to bring it back here. That's the advantage of auto layout. That's one. I will just do this and it will switch places. You click on it, switch it to switch places. That's one. Then another thing I want to do is to add something else to this box. Sorry, my mouse is a bit faulty. It fell. That's why it's I'm here to replace it. So it's not clicking where I want to click. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. So please bear with me on that. I will buy another one before our next class. I underestimated how it was going to affect me in this class. I simply just want to add another menu. And it's doing anyhow. Okay, let me just see. I have Where's my typing cursor now? Don't do like that. Nope, this is the one I'm looking for. Okay. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add more menu. Sorry, my mouse is doing anyhow. But what I was just trying to say is I can just add one more menu and it will just space it for me and everything because I use auto layout to balance it out just the way I did in the button. So I'll still try again if it were. My mouse is really messy. Please pardon me. Let me try to finish this thing so that I will show you about responsiveness because I'm seeing our time is flying and it's just making me worry so much. All right, so let me just click my text tool again and just write something. So let me just say welcome to our practice website. So I want to work on I want the fonts to be big. I want the fonts to be big, so I'm just going to click on it, take it to like 48 seems okay. And then maybe it's just somewhere around, let me just put it somewhere around in the middle here. And as it is right now, I can decide that we have a feature. When you click these three dots here, there are some things you can also do. Your case is right here. Maybe you've been looking for where case is this entire time. How to turn it to all capital, lower case, title case, you know, the way you do with your Word document. You can decide, okay, I want to underline it or do a strike through. I have never seen anybody use this, but like I said, understand the rule first, then this is none. This first dot here just means none. And also there's a preview screen for you to see what you are doing so that you know the changes you're making. Also, you can also do your align. It's not really going to work here because our text is in the center already. So it's just one line. So it's not going to show us whether we are aligning or not. But if we want to see that, I can quickly add another text. Sorry, let me edit it. Why am I? Let me edit it. Oh, sorry, my mouse is really messing up today. I'm clicking one thing, it's bringing up something else. Oh no. Clicking one thing this is not good today. All right, so I just want to do a paragraph so that we can see some practice website for Figma class. Notice that my line height is horrible, but I'm sure it's like from a previous setting for Figma class. So this gives us the opportunity to see it at work again. Okay, so my line height is really awful right now. So I can just come here and okay, and it's happening this way because of the paragraph spacing. So I'm just going to return this paragraph spacing to 0. Oh, okay, no. This is the one I'm supposed. Sorry, it's my line height that is affecting it. It's in 4. But you can leave your paragraph setting at 0 because there's no need to touching that and your line height again. Leave it at 0. There's no need for that. And our line height is 4. That is why we have everything on top of each other. So by the time I just move my line height to like say 10, it will fix that for us. Wait. Let me select it, fix my line height to 10. Okay. Okay. We can't, I think we must adjust our paragraph as well. Let me put it on 10. Okay, it helps. It helps. Let me leave it at 20. At least you get to explore that. So that, because I don't want my line height to be this much. I don't want it to be this much. I want it at, say, 20. So I'll rather increase my paragraph at this point. I want it to be 20. If I want it to be higher than that, I can go 50 so that I can reduce my line height. So let's say 15. Yeah, so this is okay for now. So now that we have this, we'll be able to see how we can do all our alignments. I'm going to click on these 3 dots again and come back here. So now we can watch our alignment. Now we have done align center, we have done align right, now justified the way it happens on your Microsoft Docs that you've probably definitely worked with. Then here we can decide to resize, auto width, auto height. We can put that, and the reason is to do that for us so that whenever we type, we just occupy all that. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at where it is right now. Anyway, what I wanted to teach us here, our responsiveness now. Now, when it comes to making your website responsive, we have, let me show you what could go wrong if you decide to display your design in like a font size. So now, portrait now. You know when you're putting it on your phone, and it's not a, this is what you will get. You open your phone, you will see content displaying like this, and you'll be wondering what happened. It can only display properly if it's on this mode. But how do we fix that? To fix that, we need to fix each of these elements. Usually it's when you're done with your design, everything that you start working on the responsiveness. So now I'm going to make my text responsive to any device that I put in on. You can't just do one for all. You have to set your elements separately. So now for this, I will write up in the middle. How I am going to fix this is to come to my constraints here. So far, it's showing left top. That is why, and if you look here, this line here is not highlighted. This line is not highlighted. That is why when I move it, it can just show me what is on this part of the screen. So now for me to adjust that, I'm going to set it on center. Set it on center top. I think we can leave top like this. Let's just try it. We can leave it on center top so that now when I go and I pick my frame, when I choose my frame, when I pick my frame and I decide I want to display, oh sorry, I need to also make sure this alignment, it doesn't matter, Sha. It doesn't matter where it is right now. It's not middle if you look at it. But when I come here now and I pick this, our content is in the center. Now, at least we can see all of it. It didn't really cut. But it's not properly aligned. So let me see what is missing. Let me see what is missing. Let me click outside. Click my frame, my MacBook frame. But if you notice, it has completely left my navigation bar. Let me click on it again. See the settings I did for this. Laptop. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to pick center this, and then I'm going to pick top for here. The top should come the center here. I'm going center. No, I don't want that. Let me just align this guys to the center, and then let me move it a bit up. Let me move it a bit up this way so that let's see what has happened to this. Okay, now, so let me click my frame again. Why are these people wanting? I need to pick the first time. Okay, also, sorry, before I even do this, let me bring in my button. Let me bring in my button. Now, maybe I want to put a button under this. We created a button before. So when I go to my assets library now, it's in its own page, quite okay. But I can easily just drop it here. Okay, yes, this was what I wanted to show you. How you can create a separate page for your components and all that. So I want it to be here as well. Now, before I can even do anything, I need to also constrain this as well, so that we would see. Let me just choose everything that's here. Then I'll come to my constraints. It's showing me top left, but I want this to be center as well. To be center. Let me just do center because I don't understand. Oh, this one went back. No wonder. I'll do center. Now. When I go back to my frame, my mouse. So guys, I'm sorry. I didn't know this thing would affect me like this. Let me go to my layers. I think it's easy to just. Oh, okay. Sorry. Let me just click directly from the layer. Just to click here now. Now, when I try to adjust my content this way, everything is centered quite okay. Okay, I see what happened. I wrote like a really long statement. Let me break it down. Let me take it back so that, yes, it's like too long to adjust on my mobile screen, no matter what I do. So let me just cut this first one. Where did this box come from? I don't remember. Fix this. Just fix this so that my write-up is not too long for this, so that we can see what this is. So another tip, don't always break your statements into paragraphs if it's too long. We're writing something short, why not? Okay, so now when I come to my frame, let me just minimize this thing. My layer is starting to fill up. When I come to my frame and I set it this way, yeah, this is what I was, the write-up was just too long for the screen. It will be centralized, and we're still missing our navigation bar here. So let me take it back. I have to also constrain these guys. I need to constrain these guys So I'm going to come and do center as well, so that, sorry, it's supposed to be center top. Let me do center top again. Cannot be center top. Center top, I believe it's center top. Center top. Center top will help me calculate some of these distances between here and here. So now I've constrained it to center top. So I'm going to go back to my frame again, my MacBook, and check this adjustment to see what's happening. I'm not getting what I need. I don't understand word. Okay. I'm back here again. Back to my frame. I think there's something I did that is, wow, it didn't even move. Let me do it again. Now, then I can come to my constraints. Back to MacBook. Something is really wrong. I don't know what it is, but I hope I figure it out with center. Sorry, let me try center left. Let me try center left. To MacBook. That is not working as well. Oh, maybe. Ignore what I clicked here, please. All these guys worked. I don't know why that one is not working. Sorry, let me do something control. Let me return it to, okay. This happened wrongly. Okay. Centers. I don't believe it. Okay, I set it on center. Let me see what the issue is. There's something preventing this from happening. I'm not sure what. It wants me to manually move it here, and even that isn't working. Okay. It's supposed to be in the middle when I just do that. I don't know what, something is stopping that from happening. I'm not sure what it is. The idea, it worked for these guys. Let me check the center. Center worked for this. Center worked for this. For some reason. What am I missing? Why is my menu not? Let me group them. I did group them, right? Maybe to where it was. Let me go back to my frame. No. Let me go back to my frame. Back to my frame. There's somewhere here. I have to know what's going on. Back to my book. And then there's something stopping this. I honestly don't know what it is yet. What did I do wrong? I missed a step somehow. missed a step somehow. This is not even affecting any change. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Bad day today. I see what I did. It happens sometimes. I see what I did. I see what I did there. I'm going to show you. I see what I did there. That always happens. I don't know why. I thought I was over that stage in my life. Thought I was over that stage in my life. Why is this guy outside? I honestly thought I figured this out. It's just not affecting the change to it, and I cannot understand why. Let me try each and every one of it. Nope. Can work out. Center. Top. Center. Not working. Something is overriding this. Something is overriding this. Something is seriously overriding this. Yeah, leave this guys alone. Let me group them. Control G. What happened to my write up? This is funny. Something happened here as a result of this. Sorry, guys. Please let me do this all over again. I have to home real quick. There's a fault somewhere that I can't seem to. This happens. Home. Control D. It's hitting up again. Okay. It's not even the mouse that has issues. Okay. Sorry, guys. So sorry. It's almost time up and I can't seem to. Control D. Services. 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 Control D. Contact. Alright, so let me select everything. And center. Sorry, Control Z. Distribute. Sorry, I'm supposed to distribute horizontally and vertically. Vertically and also horizontally. No, right, so I need to figure this out so that I don't leave working for you guys. A lot of things I want to cover today, but this is really holding me back. Don't fix that. Let me do Control G. Let me group them. Let's create a group for them so that I will add the effects to all of them at once. All right, so now Let me add constraints to this, guys, as a group. Need to take it to this end. Oh, okay, it's even group stuff. We need to bother about. All right, so now let me try it again. Still the same. Figma is not applying to this. Something I'm missing. All right, guys. I'm going to try this again next week. Let me go to the next lesson so we don't lose out. There's something in my settings somewhere that's preventing this from happening. And I haven't used this particular, this is my free Figma. I haven't used it in a while. I have to go to my settings to adjust. But please, on your own, that's, you haven't tampered with anything. Try to practice this for your screen. Also, one last thing you need to do is your background, your frame. It needs to be, anyway, let me just leave this particular one. I'm going to try this again, but if you figure it out before me, no problem. All right, let me try another thing. Let me do something with shapes. Oh, sorry, placing image. Yes, I didn't even teach some of you how to bring in an image, but somehow you people figured that on your own. So because I haven't touched on plugins and we're almost out. Okay, let me show you how to bring in an image. Shift, draw your circle, Control D. Let me just get rid of this project and let me create a new frame. Create a new frame for this one. Okay. So let's create a circle, a small circle. Shift to make it perfect, Control D. I want to show us how to bring in image to our project. Oh, sorry. It's busy doing group. All right, let me just do it again. Control D again. I don't know what's happening. I'll touch A, B will come up. Control D. Okay. So let's say we have these 3 circles, and then let me also do another shape, maybe for like a card. Do like a card. Now, if you look closely at this, you know, the only place is not just when we come here that we can change our radius. We can also just use this circle to change our radius. Click inside. If you decide, okay, maybe you want to do something stylish, and you just click here and you can decide that, okay, you want to edit this for whatever reason, and you want to just change the shape, you can, when you enter edit mode, if you notice on websites, they have like these abstract shapes. Yes, let me just quickly teach you editing inside this example. Abstract shapes, you can edit your shapes to any shape, some weird abstract shape that you want. Some websites usually do that. You can do that. Then if you check, these are editing points. If you like, you can say, okay, I want to add another editing point here. Once you click, okay, I'm out of the edit mode, double click again. You can click, use these points, the editing points, different editing points, you can use it. The more you create edges, the more the circles you're going to have. You see, once you come in between edges like this, you see there's another circle in between. So you can do whatever abstract shape you like. So that's aside. Let me take this away and just say done, take it away. Then for you can even create icons inside this. Let me quickly do something. Let me create like a search button, for instance. I'll draw my perfect circle, shift, then under here I can come and say, okay, I don't need this field, so I'm going to off the field, and I'm going to go to stroke. I'm going to put a stroke here. Let's just work with the black stroke. Guys, hope you're learning something. Don't mind, I'm a bit confused today. There are things I haven't touched in this particular Figma. I'm just using this for the class purpose. Don't be as confused as I am right now. Okay, so when you do this, for our stroke is there quite okay. But when we come here, we can set the thickness of our stroke. Right now, our thickness is on 1. We can add it to, say, 2 or 9 depending on the thickness we want. And this is actually, yeah, to do a search button. This is actually okay for a search button. Oh, sorry, what was that? For a search button. Now my field color is there, and I don't want my Figma is no longer showing, right? We can off the field by just closing this eye. See, now that I've opened the eye, it's back there. I can just undo that, and it's just going to be a plain stroke. So let me make the handle real quick by using another important shape. What's going on? Oh, still on editing mode. And to remove it from editing mode, you cannot see any other thing here. All right, so I'm going to use a line. So I'm just going to draw the line across with my shift key. It's going to be straight. I'm coming back to my stroke again. We use 10 for the circle, which means we have to use 10 because on our search icon, okay, so set our, then yes, there's another, they call it what's it called, say? There's another feature I'm going to show you. Boolean groups, yeah. It's a Boolean group. I'm going to show you real quick. I have to just cover those things. I've made up my mind. I was going to do them today. All right, so let me even leave this. Let me show you how it works first. Let me just use 2 circles down. I'm just compounding everything because let me just do 2 circles again. Let me just show you how this Boolean works. So real quick, shift. Let me reduce this, or let me increase my frame. Let me increase my frame so that I'll leave that screen completely. All right, so now I'm just going to duplicate this. Control D. I just wanted to touch on some few advanced things today. Let me change the color. Let's say, why am I using a lot of red today? But let me copy the hex code. I want everything to be the same. Now come here. I'll paste the hex code here. Okay, we even have color here. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to use this Boolean feature. Now, to demonstrate this, whenever you want to, you can either use this Boolean to merge two elements, subtract from each other, or, you know, let me just show you how it works. I didn't even include it in my notes. Okay, so this is where you'll find all the Boolean actions you can take, either to unite two elements, subtract, intersect, or exclude. Those are the 4 things you can do with this feature here. So real quick, let me show you. The first feature here is when I do this, I group everything together. It's only when you group 2 elements together that the Boolean LAM feature is even going to show up. Look again. If you notice, there's nothing here. You can't even do anything. That you cannot take any Boolean action here. But when you intersect, you group, because the shapes have to meet somehow. They have to meet somehow. Let me show you again. Even though it's here, notice our toolbar. Shows even one is not connected. Well, you cannot even do much with it like this. So to actually take an action with your Boolean, because when you come here, even though it's showing, let me group them. Even though it's showing, you can't really do anything, because the idea is, okay, let's say I say unite. What are you uniting for? At most, the unity is going to be that I will move it together like this. That's the most that can happen, and which is something group can very well do for me. So let me undo that. Let me undo that. So now, to actually make use of my Boolean feature. Are we together?
Yes.
All right. So now I want to unite these 2 things together now. I don't know what shape is this, but you can do it with any kind of shape you want to do. I'm going to show you an example of that. So now, if you see our shape now, they're together. We've united them. Let me use the second. Okay, so now we are together. I've separated them because I decided to undo that first example. Now let's use the second example. Second example here is to subtract. Maybe you want to make a shape from one thing, maybe your circle, for instance, your moon, you want to make a moon. Let me kind of make it look like a moon properly, like a crescent. Control Z. Control Z. Let me Control Z. I've separated it. If you look well, now maybe I want to make like a moon shape. You use the blue line. The blue line is showing you the intersection, but again, when you hover on both, it's going to show you where the 2 lines meet. So now it's a good example for me where I can decide to use my subtraction, and then we have like this little cute moon. So you can make shapes on Figma. You can do a lot of things on, maybe you don't want to use any icon from anybody or anything, and you just want to be, you know, original with your work. from top to bottom. You can create your own icons. You can create your original shapes and all that. And it gives you some sort of edge, maybe in your portfolio. By the time you create all your icons yourself, and then in your portfolio, you are able to include that all the icons you created it from scratch in Figma is going to give you some sort of edge. But it's also standard to take advantage of third-party icons and shape because it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to undo this again. Separate my shapes. Separate my shapes and intersect them again so that you can see the third. Intersect now. This one is going to remove everything around the intersection. You know, it's already showing the intersection which is happening in the middle. And then you will see what you'll be able to create from that. Your leaf shape. You can duplicate this and turn it to some sort of flower or whatever. Just play around with it and understand these things, please. So I'm going to undo again. I'm going to do this again. Separate it to do the last one. Separate our sorry about that interruption. So for the last example, quickly let me group it again. And then we're going to exclude. It's pretty much the opposite of if the last action we took. It's pretty much the opposite of the last action we took. So that's that for this one. The next thing I wanted to teach today. All right, so we've done this. So let me make a quick example of something you can do with this, which is going back to that search. I realized I needed to teach you what was going on before I teach you about creating icons. So let's try and create 2 icons real fast. So now my fill, I'm going to off it. I'm going to work on my stroke. Black, yeah, I'm just going to use black. Then I'm going to set my thickness to 10. Oh, what did I do? 101. 10. That looked like I was trying to make an icon for a donut. Now I'm going to pick on the next shape, which is my line tool, so that I can make the handle of my search. I'm pressing shift so that my line will be straight. It's too long. Oh, sorry. I don't think it's that long. Line shape. So, or you could click L on your. All right. Then I'm going to quickly come here and give it 10 as well. Black. Very good. So if you notice, we have a shape over a shape. Now I can just set my shape this way. If I group it though, maybe I can say I'll move it together. I can do what I want to do, but that is not common practice. So for me to really link this shape and this shape, we'll now go back to our Boolean and I'll click on unite. So this has become one thing now. I don't need to group. I don't need to say, okay, let me hold both of them now. It has become one thing. So if you look at it here, it's showing you is one thing. However, when you click this arrow, you can see what you used to make it to. So let me just say my search icon. Search icon. What am I doing? Search icon. Don't forget renaming practice. I'm just moving really fast. That's why I'm not doing that. So now I can decide, okay, let me change the color to like a little gray. Let me Let me increase that gray a bit. Then when I click on it, if you want to rotate anything, when these boxes appear, if you place your cursor on the corner, it will show you that you are ready to rotate. So I can just rotate it this way. I can reduce the size if I want. Then I'll just keep it on the side. So let me see what I can do. Okay, let me do a quick cloud again. A quick cloud. I'm going to use my rectangle. And in my rectangle, I'm going to let me bring it close. Okay. I notice that my rectangle is not properly, my rectangle here is not properly aligned. I did it also in here. Let me see what I can do about that. See, now it's now one. Let me make an adjustment. It allows you to, so I can just close it. All right. Since it's still there, you can make your corrections from there instead of starting all over again. So let me close my search icon. So now I want to work with this rectangle right now. I want to work with this rectangle, but before I do that, I want to just, work on my radius a bit. What is going on? Okay. Let me just adjust my radius. There's something really off about my mouse. Okay, let me just adjust. I just want to give like an impression of a cloud-like looking icon. Then I'm going to bring my circle now. I want to do like my almost perfect looking circle. So now these are two different elements. If I come and I place it like kind of like this, it's going to give you like that cloud looking feature. Let me adjust my radius a bit still, so that I can have that roundedness. Starting to look like it, but you see there are two different elements. So by the time I unite them, I have just one shape now. So you can create your icons from scratch. That's the idea of this lesson today. Just go and pick any icon in your icons bar. Everything you see around you is made of shapes. The shapes that are available here. Everything. So you can recreate everything and anything. Now, let's say I want to make my cloud icon to look like my search button, because it's important that when you are using icons, if you're going to use icons that have outline, you use it all through your project. Not that when you come to the middle of your project, you now say, okay, let me shift to solid. It's going to make your work look some type of way. So we can decide, okay, let me off my fill and I'll go to my stroke. Then I'll set my stroke to 10 because I want everything to look consistent. So let me say I want to even use this same color. I can just click here and we'll have icons that look the same. You can do the same thing if you want to create, let's say, an envelope for your email. If you really look at these icons, you can actually make each and every one of these icons. Oh, sorry, I'm not pressing shift. Bad practice. No, bad practice. Then let me just, okay. So you can just have the same looking icons. Make sure if you're using stroke, all the strokes, they are the same and all that. Yes, I've covered icons now. It's not going too badly. It's past our time, but we didn't start on time. So let me just steal into your time a bit and teach you what I want to teach you. Okay, now, because we haven't touched plugins yet, and we have to, because I'm trying to expand on the kind of things you can do around Figma, so that whenever there's a project, you can always know how to find your way. And images are like a big part of your project. So images and plugins. So now let's say we have like this circle. You must have, it depends on where you want to come and drop your image. If you want to use it as the frame background, that's like a whole other thing. But let's say you draw these circles, they are in your project, maybe for profile pictures, or profile pictures, or just images you want to display. Let me bring in another shape so that we can see how we can display these things. So I'm going to just display three rectangles. Now we have like so now I'm just going to duplicate into D. These are usually called cards in our websites. So these are things that you're going to use over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. So yeah, let me just set them to align. All right, so now I'm going to bring in images. There are different ways you can do that. If you like, you can click on the circle that you want to bring in the image. Then you can go to your file. Go to your file. You're going to see place image, right? I have one folder here. Okay, it's here. Assets folder. Oh no, sorry, this is for logo. Okay. All right, awesome. Okay, I'm trying to look for those asset folders. Why are they not here? They didn't download properly. Okay, let me see what I have. I just need images right now. Oh, no. Okay, you know what? Let me quickly get images. Quick. It's supposed to be. Let me get some quick images we could use. Do I even have? Where are my pictures? No, not those guys. Oh, where will I find picture? Anyway, let me use my image real quick. I had some assets and it's like, let me just use my image. So once I do this and I open, it's telling me to show it where I want to drop it. So I drop it here and boom, you have like your profile picture that you want to use. So you can create if it's a square, you want to drop it in or anything. This is heartbreaking. I had assets for this. If it is a square you want to use it in, all good. If it is, you don't even need to click on any shape actually. Let me go and get pictures. Okay, let me use pictures of mentors from textilers and just drop it inside here. Where's that file of mine? So let me go to desktop. Let me go to textilers. I have a couple of images here. All right. Yes. I have a lot of profiles. So I want to also show you how you can just come in with your multiple images and just drop them. Like it's that quick. So I'm going, let me delete this. No. I just want to delete, let me undo this more like. All right, so I want to come in with like 3 pictures at once and show you how fast, because the idea of this whole thing is to help you become fast. So let me go to my file. I want to place picture. Let me go. Let me go to desktop again. Text stylus. All right, so let me just pick a couple of these images. Let me pick Olainka. Let me pick, because it's a portrait. Let me even pick Foyi. Let me pick Foyi, our co-founder. I just realized those are the only pictures I have in bulk like that. It's control. Come on, control. I want to pick multiple images now. The spirit of efficiency. And pick Foyi. Let me even pick Joy too. So I have 3 pictures now. I've clicked, I'm using control to pick these images now. Well, it's advisable to just have all your assets in one file so that you just know, okay, these are the images I'm going to work with. These are everything is in one file, so that when you enter, bam, you pick what you want and you're out. Well, I have to select this way because my photos are scattered. All right, so now I have, it's asking me to place all. Oh, sorry, this is not how I expected it to go. What was that? All right, let me do it again. I have to pick the pictures again. Sorry about that. Place image. Pick again. Control. And you pick again. Any picture I see. The idea is just to do this and be picture again. Okay, so when I open this, it's showing me that I've carried 3 pictures by the red icon showing on the side. So instead of placing all, I can just come, put one here, put one here, put one here. This is just all I wanted to show you. So you can pick all your images as long as where you want to place it is ready. You just go pa, and you are done with that. So let me go into plugins. I'll leave this space for one of the plugins I will use, which also helps with using images from third-party sites. All right, so real quick, let me go to my plugins. So I'm going to click on plugins. I'll go to manage plugins. All right, we have a couple of them here. I have a couple of plugins here. If we like, we can come to browse more in community. It's going to take us to Figma community, where we see like a lot more. All right. I want to say a lot more here. Go to the libraries, we'll see so many of that. But we want plugins. So let me look for plugins. We want plugins. We'll just look for plugins. So, we can come here. We're going to see so many plugins. This is from the community. But honestly, I think it's best we start with what is inside Figma, the ones that are saved for us here. So there are a couple that we can use. We saw how to use Font Awesome the other time, and I said, please abandon icons 8, but if you can navigate your way very easily around it, it's fine. So now I'm going to look for what is known as Unsplash for our images. Unsplash. We have a plugin like that called Unsplash, and what it does for us, if you read the description, you even see more of what you can get from using Unsplash. So it allows images to be used, free images, by the way, for both commercial and personal projects. So you can use images from Unsplash without feeling like someone is going to arrest you. And that's another important thing I need to stress about. You cannot use images without permissions. There are images that if you use them, you must give credit to the person. You must give credit to the person. So, but as a beginner, I'm going to advise you use images that are free. There are many free image resources. Many free image resources. So, now we have Unsplash. I'm going to run Unsplash, and it's going to open up. It's going to open up so that we can pick any kind of image that we want for our project. Okay, so you see these are Unsplash images. You can visit the site unsplash.com. You're going to see like an array of images that you can use. So even for our profile, you can even say maybe you're trying to build like a portfolio. And your portfolio, you don't have to wait like till you've actually worked on a real project. You can just decide, okay, I want to make a website for my portfolio, and it could be like a fake kind of project, but the most important thing is it has all the workings of a UI/UX designer. You can create a case study, and one of the most easiest ways to do this for yourself in this AI time is going to ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini and go and tell it to please create like a case study for you to build a project around, and it's going to create like real scenarios where you can create a project around. So that's how UI/UX designers can also leverage on all these AI generative tools. You can create your case study on them and come and build your project around it. You can also use those things to create content for your project as well. So you can just decide, okay, let me just drop these things here. It's still loading. I don't know why it's slow, but it's trying to load. Once that is done, your image is going to come up. Oh, this is not what I expected. Let me Control Z that. That is not how that was supposed to be placed. Today it came and covered everywhere. I didn't place it properly. So let's try again. Let me pick this beautiful flamingo. It's not letting me drop it. I don't know why. Something wrong. Just started again back. Let me search for profile pictures or something. Profile. I can just say profile. This guy is now. It's crazy. I don't know why. Because usually how you can place it is when this blue highlight comes in. But let me see. It's still not, it's not showing me that I can place this image, and I don't know what's going on. Something I've been using, I don't know what is happening today. Because if I just release it, it's just going to fill up everywhere. It's going to fill up everywhere. I see how it's taking forever. If it makes that mistake again, I'm not going to find it funny. Anyway, let me let that load. Okay, some of these images are locked. Yep, that's what I just noticed. If you look at each image down here, it's asking me to unlock. So I have a feeling, yes, see, this one worked. I have a feeling that those are the images we cannot just freely bring into our project. So let me try this one that is unlocked as well. If this is not going according, that's not it at all. That's not what happened. Clearly. I'm not sure why some pictures are not responding. I have no idea what is going on. Okay, this picture wasn't even unlocked. So what happened? Then this guy walked. Why? I don't know. It's not sure. Anyway, looking at the first way we dropped pictures and this one, if you like, go to unsplash.com, download the images and keep them in your laptop so that you can pack all of them and just be dropping the way we did when we dropped it in our system, because this method clearly shows it can be affected by network or some issue or the other, because usually I rather go look for pictures that align with the theme of my website, download them, keep them in my assets library in my computer, and then pack them and just, it just helps me to move faster. And the idea of this class is to teach us how to work efficiently and faster. See how this one is taking forever to download. Anyway, after this, I'm going to move to the next plugin. Let's cover at least some really important plugins today. The others you explore on your own, because our time is moving very fast. Like, when did 4 even reach? This looks like another one. I was just going to say that, but all right. This you get the idea. Please, everything I'm trying here, try it on your system. It may not happen for you the way it has been happening for me. All right, so let me just go to plugins again real quick. I want us to explore some. There's one interesting one I want us to see, which is for to help you combine your colors for your website. It's called palette. Oh, I'm spelling palette. Oh, palette. Perhaps. No, I spelled it. This is it. Palette. Now, this one it will come in handy for you for when, your color game is not all, you are trying to get there, your color game, except in a situation where your stakeholders give you specific color. But if it's okay that you are going to come up with the color yourself, why am I not seeing palette? I don't think I spelled it well. I don't think it's literally spelled it the way the palette. There are a couple of other. Anyway, let's just use this one. There are a couple of other. Yeah, let's just run this one. It works the same. And one more thing I want to tell you is, let's say you have like a source for palette now. You cannot go and download, or anyway, you can download many palettes as you want, but you can't run them at the same time. So you are meant to use one plugin at a time. You cannot run 2 plugins at once in your Figma, so that you will not crash certain things for yourself. Okay, so now I just think my network is also not good today, because it's supposed to just like really come up on time so that you can see how you use it. What this would help you do is to help you generate color palettes for your project. And even in the case of maybe a brand, if you can carry their brand colors, you can also run it through this color palette, and it's going to pick up the hex code for you. Hex code, which is this color, lettering, and number here. So this hex code here is 1E, 1E, 1E for this black. So let's try to see other hex codes. Okay, so let's say we do this color, it's a different hex code. You come back here, different hex code. Just, change. You get like a different hex code for each. This is what you use even in CSS when you are building and coding for the app proper. It's so I don't even know what's going on with these people here. Why is my frame? Oh, okay. My frame is just having a mind of its own. Oh, sorry, it's changing it's changing my design background. All right, okay, I get that now. All right, so moving on to trying to bring it in again, because I don't understand. Anyway, I have it here. You must select at least one image. Okay, let's say we want to work with Yinka's clothes. Then I'll say, or should we work with this flower? Let's work with this flower. It seems to have like different varieties of colors. So let me go to image palette. When I see it has brought up 4 colors from us, from this flyer, right under it. I haven't even used this before, but the one I was looking for, I think I mixed up the spelling. But the way this one works, it's like I've switched to, because I think that this is a new plugin, or I have just never used it. So you see, it was able to pick up the colors from this flower. Then you can just always, when you are trying to change your color, you know how to pick your colors. You can just come under it, pick your colors for your entire website. Let me still use this in case I want to see what to come out. Let me select. Remember to select first. There are other plugins, though. Please, the way I'm doing practice and fail, go and do it the same way. There are things that I allowed myself to just try to use so that people can see it, and if there's any problem. The only one I don't understand is the one that happened to my mini website, but I will dig and find out what it is, and I'll come and explain to you exactly what went wrong so that you avoid that type of mistake. I think I want to override something with something else. As soon as I find out what it is, I will tell you, so that in case it happens to you and there's nobody close to help you figure what it is, from all these mistakes, you'll be able to see, oh, that's a really nice palette. I like it. And I know that this tool is going to also give me like something really cool, because I like the green going on. Plugins, image palette. This is really cool. It's cooler than the one I was using. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Oh, this is cool too. I can totally make a website with all of these colors, and they are going to be amazing. All right, so let's see which other plugin now. What other plugin do I know? I can't. My head is starting to get blocked. Let me see. Maybe if I browse through, I would see. So you see, showing us our recent palettes. See, there's also content generator AI. These are all new because of this AI that is flooding us. There are so many plugins, so many plugins. Asking us to search. Let me see. There's this content one. There's this one you can use to create content, so that when you finish your portfolio, everything in your portfolio will not just look like all made up. This particular content will help you fill in details that look real. It can generate name for you. It can generate address for you. It can generate phone number. It can do a lot of those things. So I'm putting content, hopefully. Yes, content real. This is it. Let's run content reel. I hope. This is it. This is definitely it. So let's say you're building your website. You want to generate a first name, for instance. They have it. You can pick a name. Maybe you are not cracking your head. Like, okay, for instance, earlier I was even just trying to type a sentence. For whatever reason, I couldn't come up with what to use. So let's say you want to put a text, like a whole paragraph in your project. When you click on this Lorem Ipsum, see this, like a whole I can just see there are different paragraphs. I can just say, okay, put this paragraph for me in my project. Okay, it's telling me to select a layer where we want to put it. Yeah, I don't have any layer, but let me just use this rectangle that I refused to give me what I was looking for. Did it apply at all? Select a layer here. Maybe layer be this. I've just used these things in an actual project that I don't understand. You can even bring in avatars. Okay, let me try using one of these circles to see. See what it did? I don't know, some of these things, they're just, see how this thing came and just entered. No issue. They are not fighting with anybody. Anybody's not fighting with them. So some of these things, they are not all perfect. They are not all perfect. But if you are building your website, you are looking for this thing, you don't want to go to Unsplash. This particular content reel is pretty much generating everything that I was hoping to get this entire time. So content reel is another one as well. Please go through these plugins, have fun, and just try out as different things as you can. If you're not very clear about this, my video today, I'm going to drop some videos for you to go and watch and see, because I cannot really pinpoint if some of these errors came from my system settings or from me, because yeah. All right, really sorry about my teaching mode today. I'm going to call it a day because I can't take you beyond 6:30. I've covered most of what I wanted to show you today to help you with your project. So I hope you people truly learned something today. Ignore the blunders and everything and just do your thing. All right? So if there's any question at all, apart from the ones I did not find answers to, please ask me. Please ask me. Remember, you are free to contact me all through this week. We are coming to the end. We are coming to the end of this cohort. So I don't want. Yes, and there's something I said. I was going to drop some resources for you. Let me see, where is it? I'll drop it in. People are not in Discord. Let me drop it. I copied it to drop it for you. Font resources for an icon resources that you can work with. Let me drop it in the chat so that if you want to copy it from there, since some people are not, you can just do that. Okay, so these are font resources that you will use. Some are free, some are paid, that you will use to go and look for fonts that you need. Then I have also color resources. These color resources helps you to combine your colors. These are colors that people have used for websites over time, tested, trusted. You can just go there. Even gradients, if you're looking for gradients, combinations for your gradients, you can visit there. If you're looking for icons that you want to just download yourself and create your own library instead of going to a plugin, you can do that as well. So these are the resources. So for those of us that are not on Discord, we can quickly just copy this and paste it somewhere in our computers and refer to it whenever we need it. There's someone that has been on hold since. I hope all is well. All right. So please, if we don't have any questions, or we'll go and watch the video again, something was not clear to us, please. I really would love for you to call my attention. There have been some sort of hiccups in this particular class. I'll try and sort it out, and then we can move on from there. I'm available for you people this week, if not for anything, to make up for today's class, so that we can just cover some things we do not understand. I'll keep sending you videos, whether personally or on the group. If you don't understand something, tell me. I'll know what video to send to you so that you can get more clarity. So in the absence of any question today, I would like to call this class a day. Thank you once more for joining me this weekend. I will see you next weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I still get a clap.
We really
Wow. Thank you.
appreciate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are very kind. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all.